Try to warn them, man. You try to warn them. Now I know what the comments are going to be like, bro, we haven't made it. This is only 25K, bro. Bottom was 16K. Okay. But nobody cares about Bitcoin. Look at alts. Literally half of altcoins here are printing fresh new lows.
This is simply easily explained. There is a Bitcoin season and there is an altcoin season. And what people do not understand is 85% of the time it is Bitcoin season. Bitcoin season simply means that it is more profitable for Bitcoin than the altcoins. Alt season means that the altcoins are more profitable than Bitcoin. And the fact of the matter is, every single bull run, Bitcoin is the show stopper all the way up until about this moment. And then from this moment to this moment, the altcoins have their day. When it is Bitcoin season, Bitcoin has the highest ROI. When Bitcoin drops, the altcoins get crushed. That is the season that we are in, and that is where we will be until about the last couple of months of the bull run.
Here's just one random example. Engine, fresh lows. Here's something you guys need to understand if you want to know how this market works. It's all about liquidity. This chart here is a chart.
That is true. It is all about liquidity, but let's see what he says about that.
Global liquidity. What does liquidity mean? Pretty much means money in the system. When there's an increase of money in the system, then risk on assets go up because you're basically forcing the big money to invest, because if they don't invest, they're going to lose value in their dollar, right? You can see that since 2021, we've been contracting here. The liquidity has gone down. You can also see that this happened briefly at the end of 2017, and that also correlated with that last bear market for crypto. But you can see this is nothing compared to this, and we've got a long way down to go. It's basically...
Okay, so first of all, based on his own charts right here, based on his own charts, we have went down roughly the same. The problem with this is his very flawed thinking in that there is a limited amount of liquidity that can be printed from fiat. That is the whole point of Bitcoin in the first place, is because there is no limit to the amount of fiat that they can print. In fact, this thing is just spinning, spiraling out of control forever and ever, and will never slow down. And this is just the United States. The fact of the matter is, cryptocurrency is a global currency. Not only the fiat of the US dollar, the euro, the yen, the won, every single currency, all of the government printing will slowly, surely, and exponentially go to Bitcoin and his little chart that he had up. Furthermore, you want to talk about liquidity and where it's going to come from, not just from the money printing like everyone thinks, but how about the overnight reverse repo purchases? This thing does have a long way down. As you can see, it has been here since 2014, and we had this big run up because it was more profitable to bet on the bonds than other things. Now this money is coming back. We're currently sitting at $1.36 trillion, and our average is about $180 billion. So that is a lot of liquidity that is going to flow somewhere. It's going to go away from safe things and onto risk on assets. Let's see what else he has to say.
A game of musical chairs, and the music has stopped. The 4-year cycle, all of that, the halving, it's just a narrative, and that narrative only works when there's liquidity in the system. If this didn't happen and the money printing just continued, then I'm sure Bitcoin would have continued to go well over 100K in 2022. That crash had nothing to do with the 4-year cycle and everything to do with liquidity.
All right, first of all, let me just stop you right there. 2022, like, what is this guy even talking about? 2022. The bull run wasn't even in 2022. 2022 was all of this death right here. All of this disgustingness was 2022. It was never bullish at all in 2022. It was in fact bullish in 2020 and in 2021. And the same people that were clamoring for back in 2020 and in 2021, clamoring for 100K Bitcoin, are the same people that are clamoring for 12K Bitcoin now, and they think that that's a good thing. But the fact of the matter is, the only people that still think that 12K is coming are the people that missed all of this and they want it to come. But there's no logical reason, there's no chart reason, there's no reason that 12K is coming. And in fact, if it does come, it is terrible news for cryptocurrency, and we'd be doing things that we have never done in the history. So the fact that of this going to 12K and then boom, then going on to a bull run, it's not happening.
Everybody who's shilling you the 4-year cycle and all that stuff, let me ask you this. Were they telling you to sell when Bitcoin was at 69K?
I was.
Obviously not, but why not? 4-year cycle, right? It matched up perfectly. Why weren't they telling you to sell?
Again, these are the same type of people that are clamoring for 12K were the same people back then on Twitter that were clamoring for 100K during the bull run.
They were wrong then, and they're wrong now. We will make new lows. And as I said, even if Bitcoin doesn't make new lows, the altcoins that are actually going to make you money are already making new lows. For full.
That is because 97% of all of the cryptocurrencies, there are 22,000 different cryptocurrencies, 97% of them are going to go to zero. Today, right now, Bitcoin has less inflation than gold. It is sitting at 1.6 inflation, and gold is 1.8% inflation, which, by the way, is why the Fed's target is 2%. They say we're not on a gold standard, but they're doing nothing but acquiring gold. 200 days from now on the Bitcoin halving, it's going to be half of that. Bitcoin will be the most profitable coin from now all the way up until about 3 to 5 months left of the bull run. You're much better off being in that asset, rotating profits into some of the other more speculative things, of which 97% of them will not be here a decade from now. Follow me for more, you savages.